Scene Mom says, welcome to the podcast from former Phoenix radio host Danny Cutler. Each week bringing you independent music, industry news, the occasional interview, and other fun segments. Let's get to it. Scene Mom says hello and welcome to episode 89. I'm Danny, your host and Scene Mom, and as always, thank you. I'm so glad that you joined me. As I said last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, I hope you had a good couple of weeks. I tell you, I had another busy time, so I didn't get a show done last week, but this is not a complaint. Other than I do want to get shows recorded, but it takes the back burner when other things come up on the business end. That's just the way it goes. I did have an awesome day back on March 3rd. I was in Boston at the State House for Creative Sector Day. I think it's only the third one that they've done. It's a full day of advocating for the creative sector in Massachusetts. I went representing the Winchendon Cultural Council, but I discovered so much more that day, ways to help others creatively and myself help us all grow as creatives and in the creative sector. I heard some amazing speeches, poems, music, and I also had a group meeting with our state senator to discuss some important legislation that's making its way through the ranks. Pretty fun day. I really enjoyed it. And I love going into Boston. It's an hour and a half to get there, 2 hours if you park and take the train and all that. But I love Boston. The worst part though, this time was the drive home. It had started to snow when I left. And then by the time I started going up my mountain towards my home, it started coming down pretty darn hard and it really accumulated fast. My little Prius did very well though, and I did not get stuck, which is the most important thing, right? Anyway, I'm going to get these shows out the next few weeks for sure. I need to, because after that, there's definitely going to be a few weeks of a hiatus. I know I've talked about it before, but I'm leaving at the end of the month to drive to Arizona and spend some time there. Originally, it was planned around the Mesa Music Festival, but that has been moved to October. I know I mentioned this before too, but I miss my daughters, so I'm still going out to see them and family along the drive, and I've got friends and musicians and lots of people that I'm really looking forward to seeing. So I'm going to spend some time bringing work with me, so it will be a working time vacation. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Anyway, I'm just happy to go. It's going to be a nice time. I am toying with some maybe micro episodes of the show, but I also don't really want to bring all my equipment with me on the trip. I don't know. This is still up in the air, but you'll be the first to know what's happening when I know. Until then, you can follow my adventures on Instagram because that's probably where I'll be posting the most. It is dcutleraz. All right, well, let's get back to this show. Of course, I've got your music news, I've got music history, a marketing tip, and a good and nerdy news story to share with you this week. And of course, 5 amazing indie tracks. So let's get back to the music with another feature from one of our artists that are playing the very first Montapalooza in May. Western Massachusetts musician Seth Newton. He's just an amazing solo artist. I've seen him live several times now. He tours all over the world, including leaving pretty much a couple days right after Montapalooza to go and tour in Europe again. You really can't put him in any genre, and he is just a super sweet human being. He is going to be on the Sun stage at Montapalooza Saturday, May 30th, and you can get all that information about the festival at montapalooza.com. So here's Seth Newton with his single Life Jacket, and you're listening to What Scene Mom Says.
People just won't see. 'Cause you're so tired. Hey, your life's enough. Life's enough. Life's
You're listening to the Scene Mom Says show with your host Danny Cutler. It's now time for music news.
The big news this week, the U.S. government's antitrust case against Live Nation Entertainment, the parent company of Ticketmaster, has abruptly been settled just days after the trial began. The lawsuit, which was originally filed by the U.S. Department of Justice and dozens of state attorneys general, accused Live Nation of using its dominance in touring, venues, and ticketing to stifle competition and drive up costs for fans and artists. Now, under the settlement, Live Nation will be allowed to keep Ticketmaster, but must make several concessions, including limiting certain exclusive venue agreements, opening its ticketing system to more competitors, and capping some service fees. The company has also set aside hundreds of millions of dollars to address potential damages claims. However, the controversy is not over yet. More than 25 states, including Massachusetts, have disclosed plans to continue litigating against the Ticketmaster parent. Several of those states' attorney general confirmed shortly after Live Nation and the DOJ settlement agreement. Rather than awaiting the changes, they are doubling down with plans to keep on seeking relief. Admittedly, it doesn't quite come as a surprise because lawmakers and officials on both sides of the aisle were decidedly vocal in criticizing Live Nation ahead of the trial. And, as when they were parties to the DOJ suit, the states are eyeing damages specifically for alleged heightened price consumer harm that stems from Live Nation Ticketmaster's anti-competitive practices. What they want is ticket prices to go down. And the settlement doesn't cover ticket prices actually lowering. It just puts a cap on certain things. So it's kind of, some things are good about the settlement, but I'm glad that these other states are still going to continue with this litigation. Apple Music is introducing a new system designed to make AI-generated music more transparent on the platform. The feature, called Transparency Tags, allows record labels and distributors to flag when artificial intelligence was used to create parts of a track, including the audio recording, lyrics or composition, album artwork, or music videos. However, the system relies entirely on self-reporting by distributors, meaning AI involvement will only be labeled if the companies uploading the music choose to disclose it. Apple says the tags are meant to be a first step towards better transparency in the music industry as AI-generated content rapidly increases online. But critics say the opt-in approach could limit its effectiveness since there's currently no enforcement or automatic detection to ensure AI-generated music is actually labeled. So far, if you want to have no AI music on a site, Bandcamp is the way to go. They've completely banned it, and they use automatic detection and put those strong safeguards in place, not just those band-aids like this or Spotify. Some Gen Z and millennial music fans are beginning to cancel subscriptions to streaming platforms like Spotify and are instead returning to CDs, iPods, and other physical media. The trend, which is gaining traction on social media, reflects a growing desire among younger listeners to own their music rather than, quote, rent the access through these subscription services. Many say streaming can create decision fatigue and encourage distracted listening, while physical formats encourage people to sit with a full album and experience music more intentionally. The shift is also tied to larger conversations about digital burnout and subscription overload, with some fans embracing the CDs and older devices as a way to reconnect with music in a more focused, personal way. Still, Spotify says engagement among Gen Z remains strong, noting that the generation continues to be one of the platform's most active user groups. That does make sense, but when you think about the fatigue or think about subscriptions, think about how many subscriptions you probably have out there and you barely use the apps. That's something to consider. It's the old idea about going to the gym and gym subscriptions and the monthly cost. I'm going to go to the gym, but you're still paying that monthly fee even though you're not going to the gym, and that's what they want. I like that they want to get some personal connection with music again. It's so retro. That's your music news this week. If you have any feedback, other thoughts, or you have some music news to share, you can email me anytime, scenemomsays@gmail.com.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Son of a Benjamin. Son of a Benjamin. Son of a Benjamin.
When we get in, see it again, steal it again. Run with the gem, see you again. When I'm on the other side.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Son of a Benjamin. Son of a Benjamin. Son of a Benjamin.
I can't get anywhere with this. It's gonna be a tricky one, so I'll just see you again. When it's done, we're on the run, yeah. We won't get anywhere with this. It's gonna be a sticky one, so we might just see you again. When it's done, I'll run you.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Son of a Benjamin. Son of a Benjamin. Son of a Benjamin.
That was Tempe, Arizona band The Woodworks and USOB I'm In, off of their newly released album called Directed By. I missed what looked like an awesome release show a few weeks ago. I'll have a link to their music, of course, in the show notes. C-Mom says it is time for some music history. On March 6th in 1973, Pink Floyd released The Dark Side of the Moon over in the UK. The groundbreaking album began its journey to become one of the best-selling and most influential records in rock history. I don't think that's been matched since. On March 9th in 1982, Michael Jackson's Thriller music video was filmed. Jackson and director John Landis created the iconic 14-minute video that would redefine the music video as an art form. There's my doggo doing a little shake. On March 10th in 1968, The Doors released Waiting for the Sun. Featuring the hit Hello, I Love You, the album marked the band's commercial peak while keeping their psychedelic edge. On March 11th in 1991, Madonna's Justify My Love was banned by MTV. The provocative video sparked controversy, but also boosted Madonna's profile as a bold and boundary-pushing pop artist. That is so funny. I went and watched the Justify My Love video, and I just laughed how that was banned by MTV. And on March 13th in 1965, Bob Dylan played electric at the Newport Folk Festival. He shocked folk purists by playing electric guitar, and it signaled a major shift toward folk rock. That is some music history for you this week. back with new music. Yes, that was Roger Clyne and the Peacemakers with Yeshube off their new album, Hell to Breakfast. And if you're not sure who Roger Clyne is, I'll give you the name of a band that was popular in the 90s, The Refreshments. C-Mom says it is time for your marketing promo tip of the week. Be useful when you're in Facebook groups. If you're simply going to share and not engage, what is the point? Spamming 30 groups with the same post is not a marketing strategy. Are you liking and commenting on other posts in the group? Are you checking your posts for comments and answering them? Is spamming this way achieving your goal? If you answered no to one or more of these, you're definitely wasting your time, most likely annoying others, and you need a better strategy. So here's some ideas. Spread it out. Pick what days and what groups you're going to post in rather than all of them every day. A content calendar is perfect for this, by the way. Create specific copy for the different groups rather than just copying and pasting the same exact text. That's a great use for ChatGPT, by the way. Like and comment on other posts, especially other businesses. Not only will this show legitimacy, but it will also get more eyes on your business. There's a term for this. What is it? Oh yeah, networking. So let's make this year the year of marketing and promoting with intent. I offer content calendars and promotion plans. So if you want to chat more about this and marketing and promoting your music or brand, you can always schedule a consultation with me at dannycutler.com. I also have a twice monthly newsletter where you can get even more tips. And there's also the private Facebook group. I will, of course, have links in the show notes.
I want it peaceful, I want it easy. Easy to get right. No alibis, no time between speaking. Don't you tease me with your lies. And hey,
That was Boston Americana band Other Brother Daryl with their new single Peaceful Alibi. C-Mom says it is time for some good and nerdy news. Scientists have confirmed that NASA has successfully changed the orbit of an asteroid around the sun for the first time in human history. The breakthrough comes from the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART mission, which deliberately crashed a spacecraft into the small asteroid Dimorphos in 2022. The goal was to test whether a kinetic impact could deflect a potentially dangerous space rock. Earlier observations showed the collision shortened Dimorphos' orbit around its larger companion asteroid by about 30 minutes. But new analysis has revealed something even more remarkable. The impact slightly altered the entire asteroid system's path around the sun, marking the first time human activity has measurably changed the motion of a natural object in space. Now, the shift is extremely small, but scientists say even tiny adjustments made years in advance could someday help prevent an asteroid from colliding with Earth. Cue Bruce Willis.
It's undeniable. Your energy is so desirable. You keep it steady and reliable. You're a diamond pure, not fighting anymore. I think I found my cure. Feels like the rising sun. Without you there, I start to come undone. You make my heart dance like Mumford and Sons. So take my soul, you make me feel so whole. Won't fight it anymore, 'cause you're my human medicine, So when I'm missing you, I'm working overtime to keep my cool. Nobody does it just quite like you do. I feel so sure, no fighting anymore. I wanna live in your world. Think I found the antidote. Holding steady when I'm on my own. Thank you for the love you gave. Changed my world. Stepping into everything that I deserve. 'Cause you're my human
That was North Central Massachusetts artist Karina Toothaker with her first single, Human Medicine. Just lovely, and she is an equally lovely person. And that's it for episode 89. Links to all the music and news you heard this week will be in the show notes. If you have any feedback, you can always get in touch on social media. It's scenemomsays on Facebook and dcutleraz everywhere else. You can also email scenemomsays@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, please share. It helps support these amazing artists as well as myself. Thanks as always for listening, and you'll hear me again soon. You've been listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast. Intro-outro music is Look Good for the Radio by Fairy Bones. Learn more about Danny and the show at dannycutler.com.